Spider-Man Hostile Takeover. Chapter 7. She barged in without knocking, still sweaty from her sparring and still wearing her athletic clothes. Maya looked out of place in his large and cheerless office. Most likely she wanted to talk about what he'd done to that fool who couldn't follow orders. The girl was too soft-hearted. She wasn't ruthless in the way he needed her to be. There was still time to mold her, though. He felt certain she would become what he needed. Fisk reached to turn off the video feed, but it was too late. She had already seen it. The expression on her face told him all he needed to know. "What is that?" "I've asked you to knock," he said. She was kind-hearted, but not soft. She deflected his deflections without missing a beat, moving around to the side of the desk as if this was her space as much as his. She gestured toward the video screen. "Is this what Mr. Hung came to tell you about?" "It's not important." Fisk switched off the monitor and turned to see if she would defy him. "It's important to me," Maya insisted. She pointed an accusing finger at the now blank video screen. That thing killed my father." "And we will bring Spider-Man to justice," Fisk said. "I've promised you that, but we must wait for the right time. With everything we have in play, an all-out battle with the costume vigilante isn't in our best interests. Once we've achieved our goals, when we have the power and the influence to do as we please, then we will crush him. I give you my word, and I intend to keep it." "Who was he fighting?" Maya demanded. "That man in black moved just like him." Even recalling her uncanny powers of observation, he was surprised that she had seen so much so quickly. She could recall anything she even glimpsed, recreate any image in the smallest detail, but this was something new. Perhaps for a fleeting image was like a photograph that could be studied from every angle. Was her mind truly acute? Fisk sighed inwardly. This wasn't something that should involve her. He wanted her to remain passionate in her hatred of Spider-Man. But sometimes that passion, that single-minded focus, became more a burden than an advantage. Yet boxing her out at this point would do more harm than good. "Close the door and have a seat," he told her. "I'll tell you everything." Her gambit worked. She worried that she slipped too much, but Mr. Fisk seemed not to notice. He regarded her ability to observe and remember and mimic as a kind of magic, and anything she did with those tools seemed possible. Once she sat, Mr. Fisk pressed a button to turn on the monitor. He hit a few keys and began the feed from the beginning. Maya watched intently, learning, remembering. She was only vaguely aware of how the air felt cool against her damp skin. When it was done, she turned to him again. "Spider-Man is a problem that is not going to go away," he said. "Until we make him go away." "And I will be part of that," she said. "You told me so." "You will be," he assured her. "After what he did to your father, you know I would never take any final action without your involvement. We will expose his crimes and we will see him punished. But at the right time." "Then who is that man in the feed?" she asked. "He moves just like Spider-Man." Though she didn't say it out loud, Maya knew that she could move just like Spider-Man as well. She couldn't cling to walls, and she couldn't shoot webs, but she could match him blow for blow, punch for punch. When the time came to face her enemy, he would not be able to touch her, but she could touch him. She had watched every clip of him she could find, and knew his fighting style better than he did. It was at the level of instinct now. "The man in black is someone I found, someone I've trained to match Spider-Man," Fisk said. "I've trained to match him," Maya countered. "Indeed, your abilities inspired me to pursue this approach, but I don't want you exposed. Especially not now, when I need you by my side. This contractor will absorb all of Spider-Man's attention, while we focus our efforts in other areas." How did you train him to leap like that? Maya asked. His abilities. I have many interests, many investments, some in countries with more relaxed laws concerning medical experimentation, he said, interrupting her. I would never allow you to be subjected to the same processes, Maya. You are important to me. This man is nothing. A tool to be used and, if need be, used up. She steadied her dark eyes on him. What is his name? Mr. Fisk sighed. I would refuse to tell you, but if you want to know, you'll find out. Your tenacity can be a trial, though it's what makes you so valuable. The man's name is Michael Bingham. He gestured toward the computer. If I agree to send you a redacted file on him, will you let the matter drop? Maya gave this some thought and nodded her head. She didn't know if she meant it, though. At that moment, she would have said anything to learn more. I'll email you the documents tonight, he said. In exchange, I want you to keep away from him. He is dangerous. From what I know, he was never quite stable, but the training he underwent has further unbalanced him. Of course, she said. Let the record show, she thought, that I haven't actually agreed to anything. Until we achieve our goals, Spider-Man is Bingham's problem, not yours. Maya nodded. She rose from her seat and moved to open the door. But first she turned back to her mentor. When Mr. Hong brought you the news about this, why were you so upset? His mouth twitched in that way that said he was trying to hold his temper. Mr. Hung brought me news about something else. She started to speak, and he held up a hand to stop her. An important agreement with the Russians. Nothing you need concern yourself with. He was lying. When she checked on him, just minutes after they left the gym, he'd been reviewing the video, not grappling with the oligarch. Bingham might be a solution, but he was also a problem. That much was clear. Maya would review the documents when she received them, and then she'd decide her next move. Despite her loyalty, nothing was off the table. Not where Spider-Man was concerned.